Hey guys, how's it going? Um, there was this series of posts I had to just share them. It's wow. Really wish I had this on that video I did the other day about the Hasbro layoffs because this would have been fun to mock. But instead, I'm just gonna read it and let it speak for itself. Here we go. For years, we have warned about the childish whining and complaining about everything Hasbro does. Tell me you're new to the internet without actually telling me. Several of us have tried to encourage positive support for the company in and instead 4 months. I don't know why he's just saying 4 months. It's been longer than that. He just said years a minute ago. Oh, meaning four is an FOR. Okay. Wow. Shame by you English. If you get that, you know your comics. 4 months, the whiners have complained and whined about Falcon and the Dragonfly and the windowless packaging, etc. Boycott Hasbro and send a message. Okay, Falcon sucked. um, I don't remember anybody complaining, whining about the Dragonfly, other than saying, "Hey, why is this thing cheaper than the Hiss, which it's bigger than?" Oops, that one's on head. Anyway, windowless packaging. Everybody across the board on every freaking line has bitched about that, and if you don't know that, then you're not paying attention. Boycott Hasbro? I've not heard anyone actually say boycott Hasbro. I heard one person say that they were boycotting Hasbro, and literally one person. they said themselves, "I'm boycotting Hasbro," and it's like, okay, I mean, and it was over these layoffs of 1,100 people. I mean, and I can kind of get where he's coming from. I mean, I've been cutting back so much, it's not funny. So yeah, and so he continues by saying, and now that Hasbro has laid off more than 1,000 employees right before Christmas, here come the whiners and complainers once again. Absurd, not to mention the moronic wait for clearance crap. Your whining has consequences. Okay. A lot to unpack here. First off, the people who are saying wait for clearance are not the same people who are saying Falcon's head sucked. They might both be saying it, but it's not the same people. Okay? Yeah. I mean, obviously, this guy's trying to cast the blame of Hasbro's woes on complaining customers because customers aren't happy. So it's their fault. I can remember days of the message boards and spy troops and people complaining about the new designs and people saying, you're being a whiner, boo hoo, it's just toys, bro. They didn't actually say it's just toys. They did say it's just toys, but they didn't have the bro on the end. I guess the bro makes it official. But yeah, blaming the fans for not just accepting what is handed to them. Yeah, this is the exact same thing. It's a weird thing in the Joe community. Joe community, I think I want to say it was Lyle Convoy was talking to somebody, and somebody said, "Is the Joe community crazy?" And Lyle said, "Yes, and I love it." So anyway, in a group I'm in, this was posted, and somebody had pointed out some really good points, and I wanted to bring them out. I hadn't even thought of some of this, but anyway, this is the big one. The funny thing is that everything that is showing up on clearance, with a few exceptions, are post Hasbro's 25% price increase. Guess what? Guess what? My income didn't go up 25%. And this is a valid point. And it was one I had not considered. When that price hike hit, yeah, I cut back. And I was like being more selective. I remember getting the Puff Adder wave and saying, that's probably the last full wave I'm ever going to get. Not because I didn't like the figures necessarily, but I did not think they were worth that much money. And I've said if they go up again, like rumors are saying, I probably will not buy. I will probably will stop buying. Period. I mean, I'm almost stopping buying. Period. Anyway, I mean, it's just ridiculous. You know, I set out on a mission to rebuild my Marvel Legends collection. 2 years later, I'm practically done except for a few names. And now they're putting out those names, so it's like, why? Okay, I mean, you're going to have to do some deep cuts to keep my interest. I'll say it that way. And on top of that, inflation increased across the board on actual day-to-day needs, cutting disposable income even more. I I have to say you spelled greed wrong because, I point this out with potato chips. They increased. They're now they were twice as much. Now they're 3 times as much as they used to be. Inflation didn't increase by 3 times as much. Something going on there. Something's fishy. I'll just say it that way and move on. Um, so yes, people didn't just buy like they used to. This is true. We don't. Flat out, we don't. It also doesn't take long to search to see how many asshats took advantage of the windowless packaging because fig swapping exploded. And here's the thing with the fig swapping, there were people ordering online getting fig swapped. Amazon was the big one. That shifted me to buy from smaller co- companies who actually gave a damn and would make sure not to let things like that happen. you know, um, but it is the primary thing that people said would happen, and it happened. And this is the best part: a corporation made tone deaf moves and paid the price and took it out on employees instead of leadership. I mean, that is it, dude. I mean, this is what happened. I mean, and that's the thing. Chris Cox, he doesn't care because he gets his big, fat, inflated paycheck and says hurrah for me and to hell with everybody else. Just like the Hasbros. I mean, is it any more apparent that that's why they share? I mean, they're sharing a brain. And, oh, that's what it is. As long as they get, I'm happy with my toys. Yes, I'm doing Hordak's voice right now. I got my toys. Profitability. As long as they have that, they're cool. They don't care. They don't care what you do. I mean, they don't care. But you threaten their dollies? Yeah, that's going to cause some issues with them. And you got to love how they're throwing blame. And that was the thing I remember about Hasbro during the Spy Troop on up to the anniversary years. They always blamed somebody else. They would blame the fan base. They'd blame the retailers. They'd blame, I can't remember all the people they would blame. It was just like, it was insane. I mean, I remember doing a post once, and it was a list of about 6 excuses Hasbro had made in the past decade. But the final one was the bean counters. Because apparently they were blaming the bean counters in the actual company itself. And it's like, wait, so you're kind of in a roundabout way blaming yourselves? I mean, but you're not blaming yourselves. I mean, it's really weird. It was a really weird moment. The bean counters don't want to put money into the anniversary line in pursuit of Cobra. Huh? Huh? That was always so strange to me. Because, it was a perfect way to blame yourself, but not blame yourself. So now we got these guys, and they probably, you know, probably heard echoes of that blaming the consumer, and now they're just echoing it because that's what they are, is an echo chamber. And it's like you don't get it. The complaining is not influencing the bad sales. The bad sales are influencing the complaining. The bad sales are happening because of the price increases, because of the lack of quality. Gummy joints on my freaking tarantula is causing me to complain. Okay? I shouldn't have to deal with joints I think are going to snap because they feel so fragile. And I don't mean snap, I mean tear. I should say tear. They feel like they're going to tear. And that's crazy to me. But, if I say anything about it, I'm negative. Because how dare I spend money on a product when I don't get the product I think I deserve? Say something about it. Because, I need to go out and spend $100,000 on a Hyundai Elantra. Because that's what people do. This is the kind of things you're asking people to do when you act like this. And if you want to, that's fine. I mean, go ahead. But realize what an asshat you're making yourself look like. And realize that you will be ridiculed for it. One thing I love about this is that people are willing to say, this is stupid, and point to the obvious stupidity that is in front of everybody's faces. Used to not have that. Oh well. Now you do. Reap what you sow. Have a good one, everybody.